Your best choice. BEFM 부산영어방송.
혹시 지금 운전 중이신가요? 어린이 교통사고 피해자 수는 지난 3년 평균 약 9만 명. 특히 어린이 보호구역 안전기준이 강화된 이후에도 어린이 보호구역 내 사고는 지속적으로 발생하고 있습니다. 스쿨존에서는 반드시 시속 30km 이하 서행, 스쿨존 내 불법 주정차 금지, 차량 출발 전 앞뒤 좌우 살피는 습관으로 어린이가 안전한 도시를 만듭니다. 참, 운전 중 휴대전화 사용은 모두에게 위험합니다. 우리 모두를 위한 교통안전, 나부터 실천하면 모두가 안전해집니다. 어린이가 안전하게 뛰어놀 수 있는 부산. 아이 키우기 좋은 도시는 우리 모두의 미래이자 희망입니다. 이 캠페인은 어린이가 안전한 부산을 만드는 은행, B&K 부산은행과 함께합니다.
보이스피싱 전화 올 땐 전화 끊고 확인하기. 택배 주소 오류 사기, 인터넷 주소 클릭 안 돼.
늘 의심하고 꼭 전화 끊고 또 확인하고
보이스피싱에 눈을 뜨며
예방책이 보입니다.
공익광고협의회.
Coming up next is Inside Out Busan with Min-Soo Shin. BEFM Busan 영어방송.
Hello, 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 and happy Friday to you all. This is Inside Out Busan, and I'm your host, Min-Soo Shin. The country, our country, it's en route to becoming a so-called super-age society by the year 2025. That's next year, folks, whereby the proportion of people aged 65 years and over will reach 20% of the total population. Unfortunately, according to a recent study, Busan was the city with the fastest aging rate. Also, our city said that the rates of seniors' participation in economic activities had stayed far below the nationwide average for more than a decade. I know you can't help getting older, but you don't have to get old, right? Age, they say, is a case of mind over matter. If you don't mind, it don't matter. To kick off our show, that was Loveholic with Loveholic. Welcome everybody to the Friday edition of Inside Out Busan. I'm your host, Min-Soo Shin, TGIF. 여러분, happy Friday. Well, I hope it's a happy Friday for all of you. Give yourselves a pat on the back, a round of applause. You made it through another week. The first week of 2024 in the books. I hope it was a good one, right? And I hope lots more to come in terms of good weeks. Well, not the best news I want to share with our listeners, on a day like today. So, as you know, amid our aging society, our country actually has one of the fastest aging populations in the world, as well the lowest birth rate, right? We're number one in those both categories, and that's not a good number one to be at. So elderly, the seniors of people aged over 65 and older, according to the standards set by the United Nations. So anybody 65 and older are considered seniors. 하지만 65세면 요즘엔 청년이잖아요, right? The 65 today isn't the 65 of before. Like they say, the 50 is like the new 40, and 40 is like the new 30, right? And then so on and so on. Well, in the case of our city of Busan, our local government has cast mounting worries over our fastest growing portion of the elderly among these 7 major cities, as well as the slacking in countermeasures against our aged society. Because they're posing social concerns over a variety of sectors, things like national pension, tax burdens, labor productivity, and farming population. This is all going to be affected by the number of elderly here in our city of Busan. I'm sure all of our listeners and citizens know Busan is such a wonderful city to live in, right? The weather, can't complain. You might be thinking, the summer, it's the worst here, or the winter, it's so hard. Compared to other places like Seoul, we don't have it that bad. And we have the sea, and now all we need are customized jobs for people of different age groups. This is a big factor of a better quality of life for all, right? So seniors are making their homes here, and young folks are flocking back to Busan. It seems like there is a trend that's happening. Also, getting older, I don't know about you, but the way I see it, it makes you feel more alive, more vitality, more interest, more intelligence because you're more experienced, right? Sometimes more grace. These are all things that come to you as you gain age, as you get older. Now, why am I emphasizing this? Because, yes, me too, I am getting older. Although some of you have pointed out yesterday that I'm going to take with me probably for the next couple of weeks or until my next haircut. You have said that I do look a little younger because of my haircut. I'm wearing a hat today because, I didn't want to pay too much attention to the upkeep of my hair. But I like to thank all of you that complimented on my haircut and told me that I do look younger. Now, I'm not trying to look younger or anything. It's just something that, I've been meaning to do because I do find myself wearing hats more. And if I have hair all over the place, the hat's not going to fit. So, folks, I have a question for you. When do you start feeling old? Or maybe when did you realize that you were getting old? 내가 나이 들었다고 생각될 때는 언제입니까? For instance, when you groan, when you make those sounds, when you're sitting down or getting up, right? Like you're complaining about your aching back. 자리에서 일어날 때, 어이구야 하면서 추임새가 많아졌을 때, 이럴 때도 있잖아요. Or maybe when your memory starts to fade away. 기억력이 점점 사라질 때. For me, I feel like I'm getting old after meals, especially if I have it pretty late at night. It takes longer for my metabolism to kick in. It takes longer for me to digest food. And if I go to sleep too early after maybe eating a dinner that I thought was pretty an okay time, sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night with indigestion or I'm very uncomfortable because of the food I ate. 저는 뭐 대학교 시절 때, when I was in my early 20s to mid 20s, I could eat anything, go to sleep at any time, and feel fine the next day. No, not these days, though, right? I have to be careful also what I eat and when I eat. That's when I feel like I'm getting old. When do you feel like you're getting old? Share with us, pound 9050, shop 9050. It will cost you 100 won. You could chat with us on our Kakao Talk, which is free, and we're live over on YouTube. Just to let you know, in about 20 or so minutes, we're going to have our TGIF Lives studio, 이럴 때 이런 노래, with Gina with us in the house. All right, so come join us. Let's get to today's News Bites. Time for today's News Bites. We have BFM newscaster Kate Chin with us here in the studio. TGIF, Kate.
TGIF Minsu.
Yes, it's finally Friday. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Headline making news from Korea and around the world. So let's get to our first bit of news, and it's a big one.
It's a big one, yes. North Korea conducted coastal artillery exercises in the northwestern region, Yeonpyeong-do and Baekneung-do, after a 13-month hiatus, firing over 200 rounds. The spokesperson for South Korea's Joint Chiefs of Staff emphasized that there were no casualties or damages to the citizens and military. This exercise, seen as a provocation, violated the maritime buffer zone established in 2018. The spokesperson attributed the renewed artillery firing to North Korea's unilateral nullification of the inter-Korean military agreement in November the previous year, escalating tensions on the Korean peninsula. South Korea strongly urged North Korea to immediately cease such actions and warned of closely monitoring the situation in collaboration with the United States. Marine Corps units in response are planning shooting exercises.
Okay. Escalations, right, in terms of aggressiveness. But what about the residents on those islands? Were they evacuated or anything?
So, due to the firing, evacuation orders were issued for residents of Baekneung-do and Yeonpyeong-do. According to Incheon's Ongjin County today, Yeonpyeong Township Office issued evacuation orders to residents of Yeonpyeong-do twice at 12:02 p.m. and 12:30 p.m. and urged the residents to evacuate. Similarly, Baekneung Township Office at a similar time, in response to a military request, broadcasted instructions for residents to move to evacuation shelters. Meanwhile, on the same day at 1 p.m., the passenger ship Korea Princess, which was scheduled to depart from Incheon to Yeonpyeong-do, was also restricted. An official from Incheon Port Navigation Management Center stated, "We had to control ship schedules due to the North Korean situation."
Okay, so update on the escalations of North Korea conducting their coastal artillery exercises. We don't know how much more they're going to, further they're going to take this. So thank you so much for that update. What's next?
Kim, a 67-year-old man who was arrested yesterday for allegedly wielding a weapon and attempting to attack Lee Jae-myung, the leader of the Democratic Party, has been revealed to have left a document expressing his hatred for the political sphere and criticizing the current state of affairs. Kim's movements suggest a premeditated act. Police are analyzing his statements.
Okay, so it sounds like it's based on the going through of evidence that they probably have found on him or at his office. I know they've been the police have been investigating into this incident, right? So tell us about some of the more alarming details that they have found maybe on the suspect.
Busan Metropolitan Police have not confirmed Kim's mental health status as of now. Since the investigation last night, the police have been analyzing Kim's statements and psychology by deploying a profiler. The police revealed Kim's movements, stating that he departed from Asan Chungcheongnam-do on the 1st, traveled through Busan Station, Gyeongnam Bongha Village, Yangsan Pyeongsan Village, Ulsan Station, and arrived at Gadok-do in Busan in that same afternoon, where he stayed at a motel. Based on this route, it is speculated that Kim had previously surveyed the visit locations of Lee Jae-myung before coming to Kadakdo and committed the crime against Lee the next day.
Okay.
The police plan to conduct further investigations on the arrested Kim, and next week they will announce the final investigation results, including the motive for the crime and whether there were planned crimes or accomplices.
Okay, if they have been able to analyze his movements, I mean, it looks like it was pretty planned out, but like you said, we're going to have to wait for those final results the police will be announcing. And we're going to move on to our last bit of news. What is it?
Today, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs announced that one South Korean national died from a gunshot wound in Guam, United States, on the 4th local time. According to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, a South Korean tourist visiting Guam was shot by an assailant and transferred to the hospital, but eventually succumbed to the injuries. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs added that the local consulate in Haganya immediately dispatched consular assistance to the hospital after the incident.
Very tragic to hear. Tell us a bit about the background of the incident. Do we have details?
According to the local media in Guam and the consulate, Guam police confirmed that the Korean tourist in his 50s, who was presumed to be with his wife, was shot and killed in a gun beach area of Tumon on the 4th. Eyewitnesses reported that a suspected assailant stole the woman's handbag while the couple was walking and then shot the man. He then was transferred to a nearby hospital but did not survive, and the police are currently tracking the suspect. Local media reported that this incident is the first firearm-related death in Guam this year. This incident is triggering shock among expatriate community.
So once again, very tragic to hear. And it took place at a place called Gun Beach. And, you know, because I have family in Guam and have made a number of trips over there, I am aware that a place called Gun Beach, you know, they're not poking fun or anything at the incident, but it's a place where they have a lot of the old artillery and everything during the World War II era. So that's why they call it that beach. I mean, it's very tragic that something like this would take place there. Just in general, a tourist of our country, who is from our country, losing his life over this incident. So once again, our hearts and prayers go out to all the bereaved families of this person. Kate, thank you so much. That will do it for today's News Bites. You have yourself a good Friday and your weekend. We'll see you back here on Monday.
Have a great weekend, Minsu.
Let's take a song break. This is Grover Washington Jr. with Just the Two of Us.
I see the crystal raindrops fall, and the beauty of it all is when the sun comes shining through to make those rainbows in my mind. When I think of you sometime, and I want to spend some time with you, just the two of us. We can make it if we try, just the two of us.
Just the two of us.
Just the two of us, building castles in the sky. Just the two of us, you and I. We look for love, no time for tears. Wasted water's all that is, and it don't make no flowers grow. Good things might come to those who wait, but not for those who wait too late. We gotta go for all we know. Just the two of us. We can make it if we try. Just the two of us.
Just the two of us.
Just the two of us. Building them castles in the sky. Just the two of us. You and I. I hear the crystal raindrops fall on the window down the hall, and it becomes the morning dew. And darling, when the morning comes and I see the morning sun, I wanna be the one with you, just the two of us. We can make it if we try, just the two of us. Just the two of us. Just the two of us. Building big castles way on high. Just the two of us. You and I. Just the two of us. Just the two of us. Just the two of us. Let's get it together, baby. Just the two of us. Just the two of us. Just the two of us.
Grover Washington Jr. with Just the Two of Us. 6:29 here in the studio. Welcome to the first hour of Inside Out Busan. I'm your host, Min-Soo Shin. 반갑습니다, 여러분. 환영합니다. Welcome, welcome. I do hope you're having a great Friday evening. The first week of 2024 in the books, right? Count it. Whatever you record it, it's done and over with. I do hope it was a good one, though. I hope everybody has had a great start to 2024. And now, I think we could say starting next week, everything's just back to normal. I think it was just this year being the first week of 2024. 이제 첫걸음 신나고, like you're excited. You want to just, go get it, like be a go-getter and everything. And then now everything's just back to normal next week. But there's still time today and, of course, the weekend. The first weekend of 2024, we could say too, right? Make it count. Let me give you a quick update on the weather as well, the traffic. Currently, here in Busan City, it is 11 degrees Celsius. Now, this weekend, it's going to get super cold again. And there's also going to be a lot of fine dust coming in, not only in Busan, but nationwide. So do be careful if you are going to stay outside. Specifically tomorrow, morning low of 3 degrees and afternoon high of 11. 네, 이번 주말은 다시 엄청난 추위가 돌아오겠습니다. 더 나아가 전국적으로 초미세먼지가 많이 유입되니 야외 활동 시 주의하시기 바랍니다. When it comes to the traffic, congestion on 중앙대로 from 범내골 Junction going towards 서면 Junction. And then we have congestion also on 충렬대로 from 동래시장 going towards 내성 Junction. Slow-moving traffic on 중앙대로 from 중부 Police Station going towards 초량 Junction. Everybody, drive safe, okay? 안전운전 부탁드릴게요. So, our whole country pretty quickly going into a super age society, super age country, I guess we can say. And guess who's at the top of the list? The top or very close to it, yeah, it's us here in Busan. So not the best news that you want to hear, but Busan City is trying our best. It's trying its best to really cope with the current situation, right? So today, super age society and everything, I want to ask you, as all of us are currently living in a super age society. I'm not saying our listeners are old, but my question is, when are instances where you feel old? Like one big one I shared, that example was 앉을 때나 일어설 때 이런 소리 만들 때, right? Like when your back and knees kind of like you give out that little grunt because 살짝 불편하니까, right? That might be a sign you're getting old. Or like me, when I have to watch not only what I eat, 먹는 거에 내 신경 써야지 되는지 먹는 거에만 신경 쓰는 게 아니라 언제 먹는 것도 신경 써야 돼요. 저는 뭐냐면 너무 늦게 먹으면 밤새 소화가 안 돼서 엄청 불편하거든요. 저는 진짜, during my 청춘, right? During when I in my 20s, when in college, anything and everything, 언제나, anytime that I eat, and I would feel fine the next day. Not so much these days, right? So I wanted to hear from you. When do you feel like you're getting old? 여러분은 언제 나이 들었다 생각하십니까? We have 류상효 원자님 on our YouTube saying, 꼰대라는 말이 친숙해지게 느낄 때. 어떡해. So when you hear you being referred to as a 꼰대, and it's just something that's so natural to you. 그래 나는 꼰대지라고 이렇게 마음 가질 때 나 진짜 나이 들은가 봐라고 류상효 원장님은 그렇게 느끼시네요. 네, 류상효 원장님, that second thing that you mentioned on our YouTube, that is just a little TMI. 살짝 TMI인 것 같습니다. So I won't share it with the rest of the world, okay? But thank you so much for sharing. Please continue to let us know when do you feel like you're getting old these days? Let's give it over to Gina, who is in the studio with us. Gina, 안녕하세요.
안녕하세요.
Welcome입니다.
Welcome.
Now, Gina, I know this might sound a little weird when I ask you this. Are there instances for you when you feel old?
Of course, I was thinking about
네.
all the time. Actually, last week.
Last week 언제요? When and why?
Because I was I had too many parties, for Christmas and
맞네요. 연말이었으니까.
연말이니까
네.
너무 놀아가지고
네.
그래서 이번 주는 그냥 퇴근하고 그냥 집에만 있고 싶어요. 진짜 안 나가요. Yeah. So that's
Because when you
feel.
partied so hard that you
체력이 너무
feel
딸려요.
it, not the next day, but the next whole week. 다음 주는 진짜 계속 집에 있어야겠다. 체력이 안 되니까.
네.
But how do, let's say, maybe like your other friends or maybe even your younger friends, how are they? 계속 놀아야지. 막 이런 생각 가지면.
Oh, my younger friends?
Yeah.
Like if they ask me to
Yeah.
hang out something, I would just 잠수 타요.
잠수탄다.
Yeah.
Just ghosting everybody, right?
Yeah.
Gina is not here, right? Don't text me, don't contact me. 맞아요. If your body can't keep up with you
Right.
like having fun and you feel it, 진짜 그렇게 느낄 때 나 이제 나이 들구나.
Never
라고.
happens to me before, actually.
그래요.
Yeah.
Welcome to the club. 네. 이제 지나 이제 살짝 이제 조금 이제 어른이 됐네요.
앞에 숫자가 이제 바뀌었으니까.
Oh, really?
네.
Congratulations. 이렇게 축하드리면 안 되는 건가? 네. 감사합니다. Thank you so much for sharing. Folks, continue to get those messages in. Let's get to today's not news bites, 5분 상식. Time for today's 5분 상식, getting our listeners in the know of some of the most trending, useful, need-to-know words and expressions. 5분만 들으면 유식해지는 시간인데요. 오늘은요, Cate, 즉 전자여행 허가제에 대해 알아보도록 하겠습니다. I've worked so hard and saved up all my money to come to Korea, and this time I'm definitely going to be a master K-pop dancer and performer.
Hello, which country are you from?
I'm from Thailand. I'm planning to quickly get out of the airport today and go learn some K-pop dance moves.
Thank you for showing interest in Korea. Please show your KETA.
My what? My K-E-T-A? Oh, you mean my New Jeans ETA dance. Oh, I practice that a lot. 자, 보여줄게요. What's your ETA? What's your ETA?
No, not New Jeans ETA, but
네.
Korea Electronic Travel Authorization. Please show it.
그게 뭐죠? What's that? When I came to Korea 10 years ago, I just came even without a visa.
Well, times have changed in 10 years. If you don't present KETA, you won't be allowed to enter.
What? I worked so hard and saved all my money for the past 10 years to come here. Please, you have to let me in.
Well, I'm sorry. You should have applied in advance at least 72 hours before entering. It seems like you won't be allowed to enter.
어떡해. I came here to learn K-pop dance moves and become a K-pop star. Please let me in. No, I can't go back.
I'm
Please,
sorry.
please. 아, 진아 씨 너무했다. 그만큼 please라고 했는데.
저야말로 이제 드리고 싶었는데.
네. 한 번 정도 봐줄 수는 없나요?
Okay. I said okay.
네, 감사합니다. 네. All right, let's get to today's explanation.
Okay. What exactly is KETA? 전자여행 허가라는 거 정확히 뭔가요?
All right, so KETA, it stands for Korea Electronic Travel Authorization, and it's a system where foreigners eligible for visa exemptions can apply for pre-travel authorization online before entering Korea. Currently, citizens of 112 countries who were previously allowed visa-free entry need to obtain pre-travel authorization before boarding flights or ships bound for Korea. KETA, it's valid for 2 years, allowing multiple entries.
So was there a specific reason for the introduction of KETA when it wasn't there before? 원래는 없었는데 생긴 특별한 이유가 있을까요?
Okay, so the KETA was introduced in September of 2021 to address illegal residents in the country. So the goal is to prevent the entry of potential offenders in advance, reduce the number of illegal foreign residents, and enhance services for law-abiding entrants.
However, why is there currently controversy surrounding KETA?
Okay, so now despite the growing number of Southeast Asians visiting Korea, it's the strict travel authorization process proving to be a barrier. You know, many of them express a good amount of dissatisfaction with the rigorous travel authorization system of our country, and they redirect their travel plans to countries like Japan and China rather than coming to Korea. Critics are arguing the stringent screening hinders Southeast Asian tourist entry, and locals see it as a second visa system unique to Korea in East Asia. Now, it sounds like it's very similar to anybody that have maybe took a trip from Korea to the United States. 미국 가면 이 비슷한 시스템도 있거든요. 거기는 ESTA라고 있어요. ESTA도 있는데 that's I think it's also 72 hours. I gotta check, but I had to do it before going to America. 이제 저 갑니다라고 이렇게 미리 말해주는 거예요. Although Korean citizens, we don't need a visa to enter as a tourist or just visiting America. So now it seems people coming to Korea 똑같이 they need to sign up for the KETA. 네. We have 가보자고님 with a message which has nothing to do with today's 5분 상식, but I want to get it, out of the way. 가보자고님 asking, did Gina turn 30? 아니죠. 30는 아니잖아요. 앞 숫자 이걸로 바뀌어졌죠, 진아 씨? 이걸로
그러면
바뀌어진
좋죠.
거죠?
네,
그럼 좋다고요?
그러면 좋죠.
가보자고님, 알아서 계산하세요. 네, 감사합니다. 네, 전자여행 허가제 KETA, the Korea Electronic Travel Authorization은요. 비자 면제 대상 외국인들을 대상으로 입국 전 인터넷으로 사전허가를 신청할 수 있는 시스템입니다. 오늘의 5분 상식이었습니다. 김대리, 퇴근하나?
예, 부장님.
집이 교회종이지? 같은 방향인데 같이 가지? 요즘 회사 생활 어떤가?
예, 저 열심히 잘하고 있습니다.
결혼 생활도 재밌지?
예, 뭐 즐겁죠, 예. 그 라디오라도 좀.
그래, 라디오.
네가 저번 주에 온 신참인 것 같네.
22번 홀gem병!
진짜 회사 생활 쉽지 않다. 어색한 이 순간 인사이드 아웃 부산과 함께하세요. 오늘은
It is time for TGIF Live Studio. We have Gina continue to be with us in the house. Gina 씨 안녕하십니까?
안녕하세요.
Hello. Gina. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
This is the first time me seeing you in 2024.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I hope your 2024 is going okay. 괜찮아요? 지금까지? 할만합니까?
Yeah, I guess so far.
다행입니다.
Yeah.
Right? It's only the first week.
Right.
당연히 going good so far 돼야죠. All right, Gina, thank you so much for coming in. The first episode of TGIF Live Studio of 2024. So it's going to be a good one. 항상 좋죠. It's always a good one,
Yeah.
right? But it's another good one today. I brought a song and Gina brought a song. 이럴 때 이런 노래. 네, 이 segment고요. So I'm going to start as
Okay.
usual.
Okay.
So Gina, as I said, 2024 이제 시작됐잖아요. 뭐 이제 시작된 지 며칠 됐지? 일주일 됐습니다.
오일?
5일 됐습니다. Right? Today 오늘이 5일째잖아요. Right? So I know a lot of people wants to start the new year off on a good note. Want to start it in a good way. But what's the standard of a good way? 좋게 시작하는 스탠더드, 크라이테리아가 뭡니까?
Well, I think the things you do like make you happy.
Exactly,
That's
right?
It. Yeah.
Doing what makes you happy
Yeah,
and
yeah.
doing more of that. I think that's such a great way to start the new year. 그래서 I want everybody to think I want 2024 in my own way. I want it that way. I want it that way.
Oh.
그래서 노래를 I want it that way를 갖고 왔습니다. By the Backstreet Boys. 네.
Backstreet Boys.
저는 원래 NSYNC 팬이거든요.
Oh.
Ever since 내가 NSYNC 언제 처음 들었지? Like freshman year of high school. Yeah. How old were you when I was freshman year of high school? You were probably
Can't figure it out.
yeah. 계산하지 마세요. Don't do the math. All right. So I was always team NSYNC, but I still enjoyed Backstreet Boys song. So I want to dedicate I Want It That Way by the Backstreet Boys to all those out there that, wants to start the year off on a good start, off in a good way, but it all depends on you. You have to tell yourself, 나는 이렇게 하고 싶다. I want to do it this way. I want to do it that way. 그래서 이 노래 갖고 왔습니다. What's that? 그게 무슨 뇌입니까? 네. So, dedicated to everybody. 자, 동굴 속에 들어가겠습니다. Here we go. Yeah. You are my fire, the one desire, believe when I say I want it that way. But we are two worlds apart, can't reach to your heart when you say I want it that way. Tell me why. Ain't nothing but a holiday. Tell me why. Ain't nothing but a mistake. Tell me why. I never wanna hear you say I want it that way. Am I your fire, your one desire? Yes, I know it's too late, but I want it that way. Tell me why. Ain't nothing but a holiday. Tell me why. Ain't nothing but a mistake. Tell me why. I never wanna hear you say I want it that way. Now I can see that we're falling apart from the way that it used to be. Yeah. No matter the distance, I want you to know that deep down inside of me, you are my fire, the one desire. You are but a mistake. I never wanna hear you say I want it that way. Tell me why. Tell me why. I never wanna hear you say I want it that way. Tell me why. Tell me why. I never wanna hear you say I want it that way. 'Cause I want it that way. 감사합니다.
love
I
it.
want it that way였습니다. 저도 Backstreet Boys 막 이렇게 좀 손으로 춤추는 거 봤죠? 막 Am I your fire 막 이런 거 Two worlds apart 이거 유튜브로 봐야지 이런 거 다 느낄 수 있습니다, 여러분.
Can you
네.
sing everybody next time?
Everybody. 할 수 있죠. I told you I'm team NSYNC. 거기 계속 Backstreet Boys 노래 부르게 만들어요. I'm sorry.
제가 듣고 싶어요.
I'm sorry NSYNC. I'm sorry Justin. I'm sorry JC.
Oh my
I'm
God.
sorry. Oh, I forgot the rest. Lance.
What?
I'm sorry.
Are you a real fan?
Joey.
Oh my
I'm sorry. 한 명 더 이름 뭐였지? 5명이었는데. It'll come to me. It'll come to me, right? Gina, what song did you bring for our listeners today?
Over the rainbow.
제가 생각하는 Over the Rainbow 맞아요?
네, 맞아요.
이 노래 좋다. Why this song?
It's New Year, so
네.
you know, like Over the Rainbow, like this song, like saying like the hope, 희망.
희망
New Year
주는
and
희망 주는 노래였구나. 생각해 보니까 Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high.
Yeah.
맞네.
And the dreams that you dare to dream really do come true.
맞네. 오, okay. So you wishing everybody's dreams come true in the year 2024. 너무 좋은 노래죠. 너무 좋은 노래고 이런 메시지도 있었구나. 전 진짜 몰랐어요. 진짜 많이 들었던 노래였고 하는데 I didn't know there was this kind of message.
Yeah, it's pretty
in
good,
one of
right?
my favorite songs. Yeah. So without further ado, let's have Gina sing her rendition of Somewhere Over the Rainbow.
Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land that I heard of once in the lullaby. Somewhere over the rainbow, the skies are blue, and the dreams that you dare to dream really do come true. Someday I wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where troubles melt like lemon drops above the chimney tops, and there will you find me. And somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly, birds fly over the rainbow. Why then, oh why can't I? Someday I'll wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me. If happy little to dream really do come true.
너무 좋다. Somewhere Over the Rainbow, Gina's version of it. 갑자기, because you know this song was from
Judy.
there's also a Judy Garland version,
yeah.
right? Because it's from The Wizard of Oz.
Oh yeah, right.
Right? Probably a lot of people here in Korea know the version by a very popular singer artist, Israel. 뭐였더라? Israel something. I forgot. The name escapes me, but it's a really long last name, and I believe he's from
the jazz singer.
No, not jazz. I believe this person was from Hawaii, like an island country, or not like an island place, right? But it's a very like an island version. 이것도 아마 많이 들어봤을 건데, I like this for 한 잔잔한 피아노랑 같이 부르는 게 너무 느낌이 왔어요. We have a message came in from 우리 김화님 on our YouTube. You are a good singer. 이제 알았어요, 화님. 네, 지나입니다. 다행입니다, 지나 목소리는 30이 안 됐네요.
되면 안 되죠.
안 됐었나? 네. 네, 지나 목소리는 30 안 됐고, 네. 근데 the rest of Gina no comment입니다. 아니면 Gina 씨, thank you so much for another great just performance. Always looking forward to, for a lot of people, including myself, my favorite part of Friday. Friday show의 일부의 favorite corner입니다. 일부에만. 네, 지나 씨 감사합니다. We'll see you back here next week, okay? And that will do it for our number 1 of Inside of Busan. We'll see you back here at 7. To take us out, this is Actor Musician with 사람들이 움직이는 게.
발다리가 앞뒤로 막 움직이는 게.
Yeah, that's right.
숨 크게 들이쉬면 갈비뼈 모양이 드러나는 것도 내쉬면 앞 사람이 인상 탁 쓰면 코를 쥐어 막는 것도 놀라워 Amazing. 어릴 때 내봐도 정보니 완전 꼬맹이 위하고 찍은 픽처를 보니 싶은 꼴리 뭐 막고 이렇게 훌쩍 컸나 보냐 우리 엄마 아빠 사랑 먹고 이리 잘 컸나 보다
그 수많은 생물 중에 인간이라서 참 다행이야 장난감으로 태어났다면 혼자 움직이지도 못할 텐데 생각만 해도 끔찍해 그러고 보니 내 심장은 어떻게 bounce 뚜뚜루뚜뚜뚜뚜 bounce
사람들이 움직이는 게 신기해 발다리가 앞뒤로 막 움직이는 게
Yeah, that's right.
숨 크게 들이쉬면 갈비뼈 모양이 드러나는 것도 내쉬면 앞 사람이 인상 탁 쓰면 코를 쥐어 막는 것도 놀라워 Shall we dance? Dance! Move around, 발다리가 앞뒤로 move around Move around, say yeah
yeah 손발로 막 치고 받고 두 다리로 공 차고 받고 했던 내 익숙하던 몸뚱아리가 낯설게 느껴질 때 몸치고 박치고 다 하나같이 쿵쿵짝 허키퍼키 클럽 궁둥짝 누구라도 한 번쯤은 다 생각해보는 right Who are you 그 수많은 생물 중에 인간이라서 참 다행이야 돌덩어리로 태어났다면 이리저리 치고 굴러 떼굴떼굴 떨어지고 말 텐데 생명이란 건 참으로
사람들이 움직이는 게 신기해
Hi everyone, I'm Catherine from Morning Wave in Busan. Do you turn into a hideous monster every time you're behind the wheel? feeling a little guilty. Well, Busan drivers ranked the lowest in a national survey for driving behavior. But if we practice good driving etiquette, we can all become gentler beings. Here are 2 things to keep in mind. First up, when you're changing lanes, make sure to use your blinker. And second, although I do love getting text messages from all of you, don't text and drive. That's a no-no. Good driving etiquette equals safety for all. This campaign is brought to you by Morning Wave in Busan on BEFM. Oh, by the way, tune in to Morning Wave in Busan to get real-time traffic updates. You know your morning commute's better with me, Kat.
지금 방송 광고라는 부메랑을 던져보세요. 소비자를 향해 정확히 날아가는 광고, 힘차게 돌아가는 경제. 부메랑처럼 다시 기업의 이익으로 되돌아오니까요. 방송 광고, 경제에 큰 힘이 됩니다. 부산 방송광고발전협의회.
김밥가게 박 사장님도, 문구점 김 사장님도, 우리 부산의 경제를 움직이는 사람들. 우리 동네 작은 가게로 향하는 발걸음이 우리 부산의 경제를 키워가는 한 걸음입니다. 부산 방송광고 발전 협의회.
The time is now 7 o'clock.
꼬리에 꼬리를 무는 품격 있는 토크. 시끄러워 죄송합니다.
Inside Out Busan.
Inside Out Busan.
Inside Out Busan.
Inside Out Busan.
Inside Out Busan. Inside Out Busan.
Welcome, everybody. This is Inside Out Busan, hour number 2 of our show. I'm your host, Min-Soo Shin. 반갑습니다, 여러분. We have a message that came in from It's Diane. I know that version of Over the Rainbow Mindy mentioned. His name is who starts the song. Ooh, 맞아요. Is his nickname. So his full name is Israel Kamakawiole. It's a long last name, right? So Israel Kamakawiole is the originator of the song, that version of Over the Rainbow. Yeah, that's the version I think a lot of people know of, but we like Gina's version as much. Let's say as much. 감사합니다. It's Diane-님. Let me also get to a message that came in, a text message actually from 8274-님. Hi, my name is Ichiu. When I got up in the morning after drinking yesterday, it was really hard for me to wake up without a hangover. In my 20s, I haven't gone through the pain, but as I age, especially in my 30s, I always have a hard time to recover. 맞아요. 나이 들수록, like me, 치우님, it's always hard to recover after like heavy eating or heavy drinking. Before, 그냥 진짜 마음껏 먹고 마음껏 마시고 괜찮았잖아요. No. Not anymore, right? 치우님 조심하세요. We're going to kick things off second hour with On the Mic. We're going to get to hear stories of people of our lovely city of Busan. Let's see who we have for today.
All right, today we're going to talk to someone here in Busan and find out about their life. Let's get to know them. Hi, can you introduce yourself?
Hi, my full name is Muradov Ogabek. Everyone calls me just Felix.
Okay, great, Felix. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from and how long have you been in Korea?
Actually, I am from Uzbekistan, located in Central Asia. And I've been living in Korea about 3.5 months.
Wow, okay. And how do you like living in Korea so far?
Actually, Korea is the best experience in my life because since Korea was my dream country since 4 years. I prepared with all my best to come to Korea, so I am living in my dream country. When it comes to my first experience in Korea was I cried a lot in the first day of my in Korea because of everyone was speaking Korean and because of I didn't speak very well. So when it comes to these days, I'm very happy and I'm proud of myself because I attending too many courses, dance classes and such kind of things because I am good at in dancing, and main reason was to come to Korea for me was K-pop. I come to Korea just for K-pop, and I'm going to go to audition these days.
Wow. Okay, tell me, how did you get interested in K-pop? Were you listening to K-pop back in Uzbekistan?
Actually, in my country, people very get interested in K-pop, like BTS and such kind of groups. And BTS was reason to come to Korea, to my life, and singing and dancing.
So you're not just a dancer, you're also a singer?
Yeah, I sing vocal, rap, and dancing also. I have a experience, 3 years experience in vocal. I attended too many courses, like at the mission vocal coaches in American. So in my country, knows me as a Luca, main dancer. So many people invited me to many programs, such as K-pop festivals, and also Korean embassy invited me to many K-pop cultural festivals in my country. And so when it comes to Korea, everyone didn't know my name too, and I'm trying.
So you're famous in Uzbekistan?
Yeah, I was biggest dancer group member in my country. So many TV shows invited me to their programs too.
Wow, that's awesome. So now that you're here in Korea, do you think the competition is more difficult, or how do you feel now being in the land of K-pop?
Actually, when I went to 1 Million Dance Studio, actually it's a famous dance club in the Korea. I went to there and attended dance classes of the Bada Lee, and she said to me, "You're not enough to be a dancer," and I felt uncomfortability. And in here, competition is harder than Uzbekistan because in Uzbekistan, there's not too many dancers and dance groups. When it comes to Korea, there are so many young people have the tendency to become K-pop viral and such kind of things.
So the dance studio teacher said you're not good enough. So what are you going to do? How are you going to make her change her opinion?
When it comes to her opinion, I have to more what I can say. Body language, body memory is not enough for me. I'm not good at body memory. So she advised to me to increase it. So I am trying with all my best right now.
Oh, wow. And so what would be your dream? What do you want to be part of a K-pop group, or do you want to become a dance teacher? What would be the dream that you're searching for?
Actually, I really want to be famous singing, just my dream. I come to university is just for my visa, and I couldn't be able to come to Korea without university, so I'm attending more courses, like a K-pop teachers. I'm spending a lot of money. And besides my K-pop trainee programs, I also work as a forex trader. And what I can say, Korea is the best place to spend money. And I don't have any stresses in here.
Wow. So it sounds like you're loving your life here. Are you happy in Korea?
Actually, yeah. I am living in my dream, and my 4-year dream is come true, and actually I'm proud of myself because I'm doing it by myself. Nobody helped me to come to Korea, and so what I can say, maybe I will be K-pop idol one day, so
So get your autograph soon.
I think I'm not good enough to become K-pop idol. So because spending more time can be proved to come true dreams.
So you need more time, and then you're going to be the K-pop idol.
Yeah, actually, I have a 4-year in here. I'm gonna live in here. So next week I'm going to go to audition JYP Entertainment. So maybe it will be more
Maybe coming soon?
Yeah, it will be more chance to me to become K-pop idol one day.
All right. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story and good luck on your dream.
Thank you so much.
All right, that was today's On the Mic. Our reporter Tegan speaking with today's interviewee. He was Felix, who is from Uzbekistan. And we had a celebrity, in the house, or no, rather, having an interview with Tegan, being part of one of the biggest boy band groups over in Uzbekistan. But he actually decided to, fly over here to Korea, be here in Busan to prepare for his next big stage. And he shared with us a little bit about his dream, becoming that K-pop kind of dancer / another star here in our country. It looks like his heart's in the right place. He's dedicated. He wants to really pursue that route. But it seems like he had a couple bumps in the road, right? He mentioned auditions he went through. He had one of the, right now, the hottest dancers here in Korea tell him that he's not ready yet to be that dancer that he wants to be. But it sounds like that's not going to kind of keep him down. It seems like he's continuing to go at it. He's not going to let that, stop, his goal to becoming that famed dancer, that star here in Korea. Well, Felix, I really want to encourage you. It seems like you're well on your way. You're very dedicated to your craft. You are not giving up. You mentioned the number of other auditions that you have lined up. I wish the best for you, Felix. Keep at it. Who knows? One day we'll see you on the stage, right? Doing your thing. Until that day, Felix, do your best. All right. Thank you so much to our reporter Tegan and to today's interviewee, Felix. That was today's On the Mic. Let's take a quick song break. We'll be back with more. This is 성시경 with 희재.
햇살은 우릴 위해 내리고 바람도 서로를 감싸게 했죠. 우리 웃음 속에 계절은 오고도 갔죠. 바람에 흔들리는 머릿결 내게 불어오는 그대 향기 예쁜 두 눈도 웃음소리도 모두가 내 것이었죠. 이런 사랑 이런 행복 싫다 했었죠. 이런 웃음 이런 축복 내게 쉽게 올 리 없죠. 눈물조차 울음조차 닿지 못한 날 정말로 울면 내가 그댈 보내준 것 같아서 다시 시작일 테니 얼마나 사랑했는지 얼마나 또 사랑했는지 그대여 한순간조차 잊지 말아요 거기 떠나는 그곳에서만 기억한다면 기억해줘요 하루씩 그대에게 다가가는 나일 테니
성시경 with 희재야. That's a classic. Time is now 7:15 here in the studio. Welcome to hour number 2 of Inside Out Busan. I'm your host, Min-Soo Shin. 반갑습니다, 여러분, and happy Friday. Let's see how happy it is in terms of the weather and traffic. We have 11 degrees. No, actually, no, excuse me. 10 degrees showing on the thermostat, averaging here in Busan City 10 degrees. Now, the weekend, it's gonna get pretty cold again. In terms of tomorrow's weather, 3 degrees Celsius, morning low and afternoon high of 11 degrees. 점점 추워지고요. There's also going to be a lot of fine dust coming nationwide. Okay, so do be careful if you are going to be outside. 이번 주말은 다시 엄청난 추위가 돌아오겠습니다. 더 나아가 전국적으로 초미세먼지가 많이 유입되니 야외 활동 시 주의하시기 바랍니다. Traffic congestion on 낙동북로 from Kupo Bridge going towards Kupo Bridge Junction. There's also congestion on 충렬대로 from 만덕 Tunnel number 2 going towards 동래 Junction. Slow moving traffic on 만덕대로 from 덕천 Junction going towards 숙등 Junction. Everybody drive safe. 안전 운전 부탁드리겠습니다. All right, so today I mentioned how Busan and our country is becoming a super age society. I think the country as a whole, by next year, 2025, we are considered to be a super age society. And it's not, I want to say it's not like the best title to have, but what can you do? Right? That's the trend here in our country. Right now, what we're going to have to do is continue to upkeep the quality of life for all citizens, young and old. So there's a lot of measures the country is putting through, the city is promoting as well. So on the topic of age, I wanted to ask our listeners, like when is it when you feel old? 나는 이럴 때 진짜 내가 나이 들었구나. 느낍니까? 언제 그런 느낌을 느낍니까? 언제 그런 느낌을 느낍니까? That's weird to say, right? Yeah. When do you feel old? So I shared when I eat things too late and I wake up in the middle of the night because I have indigestion, I have, like the stomach acid, the bile coming back. Sorry, I'm getting a little TMI for our listeners. But yeah, that's when I feel it. Where compared to, let's say, in my 20s, I would eat, and even while I'm sleeping, everything would digest okay, and I would feel fine in the morning. 이제 아침에도 많이 부을 때, 이렇게 부을 때, 붓는 때? No, when you're a little swollen, 네, 부어 있잖아요, 아침에 일어날 때. That's when I feel old sometimes too. So, folks, when do you feel old? I'm really curious. We have a couple messages coming in. We have 가보자고님 saying, I feel like I'm aging when my smile lines are getting deeper and I'm losing interest in K-pop idols. 그렇구나. 자, 가보자고님은 이제 웃을 때, 그 주름 있잖아요. 입 옆에. 예전보다 이 주름이 더 깊게 들어가네라고 느낄 때, it feels like I'm getting older. 가보자고님, I understand. Yeah, me too. When things, like for me, 깊게 들어가는 것보다, rather than like the wrinkles, like getting deeper, the wrinkles after I stop smiling, 이제 더 이상 안 웃을 때 그 자국이 계속 남아있을 때 when the wrinkles stay even after you stop smiling, that's when I realize that I'm getting old. I see a little bit in my forehead too. That's why people go about getting Botox and stuff, right? Now I understand. I completely agree with you. 저도요. Also, because you feel yourself losing interest in K-pop idols. Well, rather than losing interest, 왜냐면 아는 아이돌들은 아직 좋아하잖아요, 가보자고님. 맞죠? Like the idols you still know, you still have interest in, you still listen to their music, right? It's when you don't know the current idols that everybody is in love with, that everybody enjoys, and everybody always listens to. 그때 모를 때, 내가 나이 좀 들었구나. 저도 그렇게 느껴요. 우리 가끔씩, my daughter, 7 years old, right? Oh, now 8. 8 years old, Korean age, when she comes home and she starts seeing stuff and like I can't recognize a song. 아빠 차에서 아빠 뭐 그 노래 틀어줘. Like Dad, turn on that one song by that one group. 뭐? 그 그룹 이름 뭐라고? Right? That's how I got to know about bands like IVE. 저 딸로 통해 IVE 알게 됐고요. 에스파도 알게 됐고 또 뭐였지? 뭐 뉴진스는 와이프로 통해 알게 됐는데 a lot of these K-pop idol groups I find out from my daughter, right? So that's when I realized 내가 나이 들어서 이런 거에 관심, like the new K-pop idols에 관심이 없어서 that's why. Right? Another sign of my age. More messages coming in that I want to get to over on our Kakao Talk. We have a message that came in from Suzanne Yim saying, good evening, Minsu. Good evening, Suzanne. You wrote a message saying, I don't normally feel old and have a very young mindset. However, 다행이네요. however가 있어서. I knew that something fundamentally had changed when the idea of going to an all-you-can-eat buffet made me feel almost sick. 수잔님 죄송하지만 I can't understand that feeling. 저는 아직 뷔페 전 어렸을 때 좋아했고 저 지금도 좋아합니다. 그런데 that fundamental change, I don't agree, I'm not on the same boat as you. But these days when I'm at a buffet, I eat less. I eat less and still get the same amount of fullness. Right? So that means my stomach has shrunk. 배가 먹는 만큼 작아졌는데 my weight doesn't show. Right? So I understand. You also wrote, I also never struggled with energy, but now I'm a believer of a healthy sleep diet. My mood and my ability to think clearly cannot be denied anymore. Yeah. So same with, I guess, when it comes to eating, like the amount of sleep that you get really does influence how you're going to be the next day. And it's a given, right? I think that has nothing to do with age too. Because even when you're young, the lack of sleep will change you in a way. I'm talking about the next day. But the older you get, the harder it is to cope with it. Because, when you're young, 피곤한데 you still have that energy to get through the rest of the day, right? But now the older that you get, 피곤한데라고 하고 that's it. That's your finish. The end. 맞아요. 그 피곤한데 and then anything else that comes afterwards, like you can't do it. 그 나머지 에너지가 없어요. Whereas, when you were younger, 피곤한데 할 수 있어. 요즘에는 피곤하잖아. 그래서 못 해요. So Suzanne-님, I totally understand how you feel. See, that just goes to show you how old I am too, right? Lastly, last message I want to get to. We have a message from Hisunim saying, good evening. How was your day? Well, Hisunim, a lot better now that you're here. Thank you so much. Excuse me. You said, I put on some weight and it's hard to lose weight. When it's hard to lose weight, I feel older. 맞아요, right? Metabolism, it does slow down as you age. So the amount of food that you put in, the amount of activity that you partake in, how much you exercise, 나이 들수록 you need to put in that much more. So I hear. I'm not an expert on those things, but so I hear. So 나이 들수록 as you get older, it's harder to lose weight. 희수님, 그건 진짜 할 수 없습니다. We should ask Dr. Liu one of these days. Dr. Liu, are you still there? Because I know he's tuning in, excuse me, over on your YouTube. I want to know some life hacks, like, or like biohacks, right? Like body hacks. Is there anything that we could do in our old age to lose weight? 이거는 좀 controversial 할 수도 있습니다. Excuse me. Something stuck in my throat. Let's get to our next segment, Open Studio. The privilege of being behind the board. I can put up the mic and put down the mic whenever I need to. Oh, what is wrong with me? I do apologize to our listeners. Let's get to our open studio segment. We have a new guest, as always, the first open studio of 2024. Very exciting to be a part of the open studio, first one of the year. Let's say hi to our special guest. We have Youngblood with us. 네. Let's have her introduce herself first, and let's get to our special interview. 안녕하세요.
Hello. First of all, it's such a great honor to be here as a guest. I'm Sayoung Kim, sophomore student at Busan International High School. I participated in Asian Youth Forum held in Japan last summer, and I talked about my idea to solve culture, coexistence, and urban regeneration problems in Busan. I'm here to share my thoughts and feeling I felt during the forum. Hi.
Hi, 사연님. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for putting up with my coughing fit that I just had. 이거 계속 말하니까 it's very dry in here. But no excuses. I apologize to our listeners for my fit. 사연님, thank you so much for coming in. You are today's special guest for Open Studio, for the first one of 2024, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I didn't know that.
Oh, well, now you know. Thank you so much. So, actually, you visited our station a couple times, right?
Yeah.
So it's not the first time you're part of BFM. And our writer Steve has filled us in. This is your third visit to our radio station. So tell us a little bit about your background, maybe the prior 2 times that you came to our radio station.
Oh, so it's my third time to visit BFM.
Mm-hmm.
I visited here when I was like 10 years old or 11 years old as Busan Global Village reporter. Yeah, I visited here and looked around the studio, and I visited here when I was 15 years old as BFM school reporter.
Oh, 혹시 when you were here as school reporter, who was the host? Was it me by chance?
Maybe.
Oh, you don't remember? Oh. So, do you remember the year you came for school reporters? I'm trying to think too.
2021.
2021. 저였어요.
Really? Oh my God.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That means you forgot, right?
Oh.
서연이, but I'll tell you, 저도 까먹었어요. I forgot too. It's because every week I meet so many students, right? It's hard to keep track. But that was the second time you were here at a radio station and you don't remember me? 그만큼 that means I didn't make an impression on you.
No. Never.
I'm just joking.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for coming this time. So, a regular of our radio station. But now you're here for today's open studio because you got to participate in a very meaningful event, right? You mentioned the Asian Youth Forum that took place in Japan. So tell us about that. You mentioned the theme of the forum too, right?
Yeah. So the topic was creating sustainable cities and communities. So we debated and shared our ideas about that for a week. So we talked about various ways to create sustainable cities and communities. Yeah.
Were there a lot of students over there?
Like 20 students.
20 students, that's not big. So from how many schools and from where?
So there were six schools. So from Japan, Nara Women's University Secondary School and Nara Prefecture Kokusai High School. And from Korea, Busan International High School and Sejong Academy of Science and Arts. And from Taiwan, Guogang Laboratory School. And from Vietnam, I'll butcher this, but Lawrence Sting School.
Okay.
Okay, and lastly, from Indonesia, SMA Alasmas Mandari Pali.
That's pretty good. I'm going to believe you. Yes.
And SMA Blue Samarinda.
Okay. Is it one student from each of those schools then?
No, like five
Five from each.
So 30 students.
In total, right? So 6 students with you and 5 other students that you went from Busan International High School. That's so great. So we had students from Busan, from Korea. We had students from Japan, obviously, because it was held there. You mentioned Indonesia, Thailand,
Taiwan.
Taiwan.
Yeah.
And what was the other place?
Like Vietnam.
Vietnam, right? Very meaningful that a lot of countries that are nearby,
Yeah.
the closer you are, I feel like the closer that you work together on things such as, sustainability, eco-friendliness, carbon neutrality. Now, these are all things that each of those countries are very concerned in, but it's so meaningful that students your age, that the younger kids got together to talk about something. 왜냐면 생각해보면, if you think about it, it's such a very adult topic to cover at an event like that. But it was all students. I'm very encouraged that like your generation, like the younger kids, are very focused on doing and making this like a priority of you, of like your generation. So what motivated you to participate in that forum?
So during my teenage years, I developed a interest in various languages and cultures. So I really wanted to make friends from different parts of the world. And like, do you believe that you have different personality in different languages? Like, do you feel kind of different when you speak English or Korea?
Yeah. I realized about that myself a little bit because still for me, I consider English my first language and Korean my second language. And I can express myself in English very well. But sometimes 한국어를 이렇게 다 많이 모르니까 like sometimes I get held back. 그래서 이걸 이렇게 표현하고 싶은데 못해요. Because I'm not versed as in Korean as I am in English. So I do realize that you have different personalities because of barriers.
Yeah, for me, actually, when I speak Korean, I think I'm not an outgoing person, but when I speak English, I become kind of like more outgoing.
Really?
Yeah, and kind of full of energy.
Uh-huh.
I want to express myself more in English.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah, I don't know why, but I just do. So I just wanted to make friends who I can talk in English. And kind of interested in same things. So I just participated in.
That's awesome. I think it's not because maybe of different personality with languages. This is my opinion. But I do see some fact in that. But I think for you is because you know how much English kind of lets you explore the rest of the world other than just here in Korea. And being able to communicate with other people around the world, even with your Korean language, I think you've always had that mindset, like you want to get out. But with English, you could actually do it.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? So I think that's awesome. Nice. So I've heard that one of Japan's largest home builders had mentioned your speech that you put on this forum. Could you elaborate more on that situation, please?
Okay, so I talked about my idea to revitalize Busan. Like, as you guys know, Busan is the fastest aging and population decline city in Korea.
Yes, like we mentioned today.
Yeah, have you heard the new nickname for Busan?
What's Busan's nickname?
The Old Man and the Sea.
Oh, The Old Man. Oh, 이거 들어봤죠. The Old Man and the Sea. Like the title of the book. 맞아요. Because we're full of old men and women, and we're by the sea.
Yeah, so no babies and no teenagers in Busan. But there are more than 40,000 foreigners in Busan. So I thought that we need a new perception that everyone living in Busan, so I mean, even foreigners living in Busan, is a citizen of Busan. So I proposed to create a multinational integration village in connection with regional specific visa, currently issued by Busan on a trial basis. So I also asserted that it would be a good idea to provide housing for foreigners in Yeongdo-gu, Seogu, and Donggu, so where population decline is rapidly progressing, and to create the village for them.
Wow. How did you think of that?
So I found out that there is a regional sub-Pacific visa for foreigners.
Yeah.
And I thought that, so where do they live? Yeah, so...
And then from there...
Yeah, I thought that it would be good to make villages for them.
Yeah.
Because, like, if I'm interested in Vietnamese culture, then maybe I can go to Vietnamese town and eat food there.
Yeah.
And then maybe Vietnamese Vietnamese can come to Korea more easily because
Yeah.
there is a town for them.
Sure.
Yeah, so I thought that, I think with this policy, Busan will not only solve the problems of population decline. I think it will help it will help the disappearance of local universities and the slums in downtown areas of Busan.
Wow, that's great. That's such an awesome idea. Because if you think about it, like, places like LA in the United States,
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
a huge K-town, right?
Right.
So a lot of people that from Korea, when they go visit LA, they do go through K-town because it's like an easy barrier. There's of course, there's a lot of English there. You're in America, but there's still a lot of Korean around you. There's a lot of Korean people, a lot of Korean food, other things that you're used to back here in Korea. So it helps you ease into, I feel like, American society. So if we had more areas, maybe here in Busan, that adheres to, other countries and their culture being a designated place, like a Vietnamese town or something, right? Or a Thai town or something. I think it could do wonders in helping bring more people from those countries here.
Yeah.
We also get to learn about more about those countries. Wow, that's so smart of you.
Oh, thank you.
Wow. Which district do you live in? 어느 구에 사세요?
연제구.
연제구. We might see the future mayor of Yeonje district here. I feel like we have like a next generation politician here in the studio with me. I think that's great. During your whole time at the Asian Youth Forum, what are some things that you learned?
So I was deeply impressed by the greatness of Korean culture. So many kids around the world love K-pop idols, use Korean cosmetics, and watch Korean dramas and movies. Moreover, having been exposed to Korean culture, a significant number of them know Korean words.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
that was amazing.
It seems like, K everything. You know how we put K drama, K food, K pop, and everything. It seems like they got to experience, even in their home countries, they're experiencing K everything.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Like a girl came to me and told me, 이러면 안 되는 거잖아. So I was like, what? How do you know that? So
Are you sure you were in Japan? 이러면 안 되는 거잖아. From one of the students there. What country were they from? Do you remember? Japan.
Yeah. And I was like, how did you know that? And she was like, she learned it from like Squid Game. Yeah.
From watching a game. Yeah, because once again, K content, K shows and movies, so huge around the world, right? So it seems like that is really promoting our culture and our language to the rest of the world.
For real.
So how did you feel like as a Korean seeing that firsthand?
I was so proud of Korean, proud of as Korean because I taught a girl about Hangul, Korean character, and I taught her for like an hour, and she started to read Hangul and write Hangul. So I was like, oh my gosh.
You taught her for an hour and she started reading by herself?
Yeah, and I was like,
that's amazing.
What?
That means you're a really good teacher.
Oh.
근데 아마 그만큼 she had prior knowledge of it.
Yeah.
And she probably wanted to learn a little bit more from you. Oh, but that's amazing. So I haven't visited another country in a while where I felt like Korean culture was really being spread out the rest of the world. I recently visited America. The one thing, though, that really surprised me was I would walk into like a random store, not like a big shopping mall. I would walk into like just a random 조그만 매장, and they were playing K-pop, like on the speakers. Right? I never imagined listening to like IVE or Blackpink or like New Jeans at like a random pharmacy or like a random small store in America. 그냥 작은 동네 안에 있는 작은 가게에서 they're playing K-pop. And I was looking around, is this like Korean owned? 한국 사람들이 이렇게 장사하나? And it's just all like non-Koreans, right? So I was really amazed. 그만큼 I feel like that much K-culture has spread.
Right.
But you witnessed it even more, not only when it comes to music and food and whatnot, but actually even the language.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's so amazing. Nice.
Yay.
Also, you got to speak. You mentioned that speech in front of a large audience, right, at this major forum, and you did it in English.
Yeah.
That couldn't have been easy, right? Because I know for people here in Korea, students especially, they feel really intimidated. They're really shy. They get really nervous when they have to make presentations. Maybe for listeners out there, some of our listeners that might be nervous when they do public speaking, do you have any advice for them?
I think we should realize that English is just a tool to express our feelings and thoughts. Because I think kind of Koreans are kind of obsessed with, pronunciation or accent. But even Americans has different accent and pronunciation. Yeah, so I think we should realize that, we shouldn't, if we can, as long as we can share our thoughts and feelings, pronunciation doesn't matter at all. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's a really good tip. Because it's the pronunciation sometimes. 발음 때문에 a lot of people decide, 그냥 발음 때문에 안 할래.
Yeah, right.
Right? But you shouldn't let things like your pronunciation get in the way.
Yeah.
As long as you could get the words out there and your idea, I think that's all that matters. Nice. I sense a lot of confidence from you too, not only when it comes to English language, but because you believe in the things that you say. I think that's why people were so moved. 영어를 잘해서, right? It's not because you were good at English, it's because you really believed in what you were saying. I think that's awesome. Nice. Soyeon, thank you so much for coming in. As we slowly start to wrap up our interview with you, share with us your future plans. I'm so curious. I see such a bright future for you.
Oh, thank you. Actually, I really wanted to be a reporter for a long time. But do you know that there is a saying that if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plan?
You want to make God laugh, tell him your plan? Why? Why would he laugh?
I was
Explain
really
that.
interested in reporting, or I really wanted to be a reporter for a long time.
Yeah.
But I don't want to be a reporter at all, these days.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. I think my interests change over time.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think it is good to just do my best every day, and maybe I can make other goal, and I can achieve it. And so I don't have any dream or big goal these days, but I just want to make my day best of my day and do my best on everything.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome. If you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans.
Yeah.
Because, God, I'm going to do this and this and this in the future. And he goes, sure, okay.
Yeah.
That's what you think, right?
Yes.
I think, Soyeon, at your age, I think it's perfectly normal to have your interests change, even overnight, right? Yesterday you were interested in this, tomorrow you could be interested in something totally different.
Right.
And that's totally normal for you. We're talking about, with our listeners today, getting older, right? So this could be one thing. You get older when you realize your interests don't change anymore. So you're just stuck with something, right? So that could be a sign that you're getting older. But no, for you, having different interests and changing your interests, right away, totally normal, I think, right?
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Our special guest of the day, the very first open studio of 2024, we had Miss Soyeon Kim, a student at Busan International High School, recently, this past summer, got to be a part of the Asian Youth Forum over in Japan. Best of luck to you, Soyeon, and I hope to see you back,
Yeah, me
in
too.
next year, in another 2 years? 그때는 저 기억할 거죠?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming in. That'll do it for today's Open Studio. Let's take a quick song break. This is Channabi with She.
She's everything to me. 지친 나를 감싸 안아줄 그대 나를 반겨줄 천사 같은 이름 무지개가 떨어진 곳을 알아 내일은 꼭 함께 가자는 그녀 내 손을 감싸쥐는 용감한 여전사여 그 미소 위로 닻을 내리고 내 하루가 쉬어가고 어떨까요 그대 없는 나는 All of my life 어떤 밤에는 그때와 나는 길을 잃고 헤매겠지 걸음 맞춰서 걷다가 보면 All of my life is you She's real
푸짐한 선물을 원하십니까? 인사이드 부산이 준비한 소중한 선물 Full course meal voucher from Golden Lizzie, a gourmet restaurant in 거제동 and 연산동, where you can taste cuisine from Michelin Guide featured Chef Kim. 미슐랭 셰프의 파인 레스토랑 골든 리지에서 10만 원 외식 상품권. 런지 10세트. A place to entertain your brain and eyes. Museum of Illusions. 당신의 눈과 뇌를 즐겁게 하는 곳. 뮤지엄 오브 일루전 부산 착시미술관 입장권. 회원님 끝까지 집중하셔야 돼요. 언제나 마시는 커피를 신선하게 만드는 양산에 위치한 Into Roastery. Coffee voucher and a pack. A fresh coffee whole beans. Sponsored by Into Roastery in 양산. 운동 중인데 향이 좋네요. 자, 회원님 다음 암풀다운 핫돌. A delicious meal voucher from Gorilla Brewing Busan. 광안 branch, the leader of Korean handmade beer culture. 자, 수제 맥주 전문점 고릴라 브루잉 부산에서 제공하는 식사권. 자, 회원님 마지막 덤벨 85kg. We prepare admission tickets for the Busan X the Sky Top Floor Observatory, which is located at LCT in Haeundae, the highest place in Busan. 끝까지 해야 됩니다. 끝까지. 자, 부산 대표 랜드마크 해운대 LCT에 위치한 하늘 위의 바다 부산 X the Sky 전망대 입장권을 선물로 드립니다. 회원님 수고하셨습니다. 네, 재밌는 방송 IOB와 함께 선물은 덤으로 지금 바로 참여하세요. 후하 후하.
All right, folks, time to slowly wrap up today's program with our final segment, quote unquote. And of course, I brought a quote related to the topic that we've been talking about the whole day, getting old. Yeah. So today's quote is by Bob Hope. Yes, that Bob Hope. And his quote reads, "You know you're getting old when the candles cost more than the cake." 이거 웃기죠. 네. So you know you're getting old when the candles cost more than the cake. Because now, the older you get, the more candles you have to stick onto the cake, right? You might get to a point where the money you spend on the candles costs more than the cake. 그만큼 나이가 들어서 그만큼 캔들을 꼽아야 되니까요. 그렇죠? So it's a very humorous take on the concept of aging. It's rather bittersweet, actually. So this quote, it helps us acknowledge aging with a little bit of humor. You know, approach getting old through humor, I guess. Instead of dreading your birthdays and the signs of getting old, we can choose to laugh and find joy in that journey. It also points out the perspective on value as well as cost. So this quote, it playfully highlights how our priorities and perceptions of value change as we age. You know, when you're young, like the cake that you get or, you know, whatever, the substance of life seems most important. But as we age, it's the candles which maybe can represent the years, which they usually do. Each candle represents 1 year of your life, right? It could also represent experiences. It's these things that hold more value, even if they come at a higher cost. And also, each candle on the cake symbolizes 1 year of your life and experience. So this quote reminds us to celebrate these milestones that you have. Celebrate each and every candle that you put on your cake, both joys and the challenges that you faced. And it also finally underscores the importance of maintaining a sense of humor as we age. And it helps to keep a positive outlook on life's inevitable changes. Because we're not a god. We don't have superpowers, right? We're not X-Men. We can't stop time. We can't slow time. All we can do is let it go, right? Just let it flow as it is. So with that comes things like aging, getting old, wrinkles. It's really tough to avoid. So let's keep a positive outlook because I think that's the best and the most we can do to keep, to those inevitable changes that come our way. Thank you so much to all your participation on today's show. I want to get to a message that came in from It's Diane, sharing with us when she feels old. She says, I love having a cup of coffee, but it might give me heartburn or indigestion sometimes. Oh, Diane, I totally know what you mean. Sometimes when I drink coffee, it's totally fine, but I realize in more these days that coffee, it takes a while to digest. And sometimes 제가 갑작스럽게 막 움직이고 커피 소화가 다 안 됐는데, if I'm doing kind of rigorous physical activity, sometimes that coffee comes up, back up, right? Sorry, I don't want to gross out our listeners. I do apologize. But that's something that we go through when we're getting older, Diane-님. 그래서 take little sips. 조금씩 천천히 마시면 될 것 같습니다. Thank you so much for all your participation. Have a great Friday night and your weekend. I'll see you back here on Monday. Inside of Busan was written by Im Soo-jin and Steve, and it was hosted and produced by yours truly, Min-soo Shin. Our last track, this one's by Alex Hwabun. Everybody, have a good one.
창가에 화분이 될게요